February 18th Township of Grosseal Regular Police Commission meeting to order at 7:05. So I guess, Margaret, do you mind starting us off the Pledge of Allegiance? That chair usually does it for us.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Margaret. Okay, do we have any additions or deletions to the meeting or to the agenda?
No, sir.
You all set?
Nay. Move that we approve the agenda as submitted.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the January 21st regular police commission meeting?
Motion.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Let's move on to the first action item to approve the police commission meeting schedule for 25 and 26.
Motion.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, a little tougher one. Appointment of the police commission chairperson for 25-26. I would like to nominate our favorite lawyer here, Scott Longton, to be chairman of the police commission for next year. Do I have a second?
Support.
Second.
Scott, are you accepting if we say yes?
I am.
Because last time you complained when I got you to join the commission that I lied to you, so. All right. All in favor of Scott Longton being the police commission chairman for next year?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Do you have an acceptance speech or inauguration dance?
Probably more of a speech than a dance. I'm not much of a dancer, so no. I'm looking forward to trying to move the department forward as we have been, and we'll keep marching along and battle our battles as we need to.
Very good. Moving to department reports.
Hello. Just a couple things within the department. We rotated one of our DB positions, and Sue Dalpiez is a new detective for a 5-year term. Officer Carrico accepted the open sergeant position on midnights, and he'll be promoted to sergeant during the March commission meeting. So he'll be coming out of DEA in March. We have not selected a replacement, but we did post for it. So it's still open, waiting for people to apply. I sent a letter of interest. Some of the capital improvement projects we're working on. So you've heard me say a couple times, our 2018 Dell computer laptops are at the end of their lives. We just learned some information from the DCC or Sync, the people that run our computer network. So we're going to have to recalibrate what we want to go for. We're probably going to go for a smaller amount of computers because of some changes that they're making at their end. So we got to wait till we know what their changes are before we can make our bid for it. That'll be paid out of federal forfeiture. The public safety internal phone network, we're going to put that on hold for more important things, which is to be the laptops and the our generator project. So that right now we've sought a proposal from CE Rains company. They're the township engineering firm. So they're going to give us a proposal what it'll cost to oversee the project of doing the bids, the engineering, structuring, managing the whole project, and then the bid that'll go before the board, and then the bid, when that comes out, will go before the board again. So,
Did they outline exactly what they're doing during that process, during that oversight?
They did, but I can't remember it offhand.
Oh, no. I'm just...
It'll basically be the designing of what needs to be done. They're going to do a electrical study of the building to see what our current engineer, our generator, actually controls, like the HVAC systems, what part of it is under the generator's umbrella, if I may. And then how to get the old one out, the new one in. Do we need to increase the kilowatts? Can we maintain the same? We're asking for a redundancy put into the panel, the electrical panel, to where they'll have a switch. I can't remember what it's called, but the switch to where we can backfeed the dispatch if the new generator even fails. Why not put that in there? It's not that much more. I think the fire departments can do the same thing. That way we can just have redundancy in the building. And then they're going to oversee the project and the construction.
So they're managing all of that.
Because this right now it's sitting on a pad inside the building.
Right.
With the airflow going out, and they have levers, and the exhaust goes out. The new generator size, if they continue with the 80 kilowatts, it would most likely fit on that pad. If we went to some higher number, they may have to do construction, which would be more cost. We're hoping to stay right around 80 to 100 kilowatts.
And then fire is handling half that cost.
They'd be split between our forfeiture, their budget, and the remaining, whatever we have remaining in the cell tower fund.
And you've been coordinating all of this?
Oh yeah, we're working great with your partner there on the board for the fire liaison, and then myself and the fire chief we actually met today about it.
Fabulous.
That's all I really have.
So, Chief, I missed something on there. So you're keeping the old generator as redundancy?
No.
Okay, so there's some sale value for that, or
The old
salvage value?
generator's a 1992 Ford, and then the actual natural gas generator part of it is a 1991 Kohler, so it's 33 years old. So, and then it's about 5, 7, 8 years past its life expectancy. We're getting rid of the old one. We're going to ask the other departments in the township if they want a generator for a backup for their facilities. We're going to get a new one in there. What we're doing is a transfer switch in our panel that the generator runs to. So we get a brand new generator, and that dies 10 years from now. And a crucial point, we have a 12,000 watt house generator for the animal shelter. We can actually move over.
Okay, so you
and
just basically an extra
dispatch.
plug.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
It's like a
got it.
house generator, but
Yep.
on a commercial.
Thanks.
Fire's going to do the same thing, hopefully. So, any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Chief?
Good evening.
Evening.
If you look at the packets, we've started to look at how can we restructure, or not necessarily restructure, but do a better job of putting out the numbers and what the department does. So within the packet, you'll see a different look for some of it, with incident breakdown, calls for service. And then there's a sheet in here that I did for the monthly report, and it breaks it down in an easier fashion. And I think it projects what we do much better than how we've been doing it in the past, especially if we're trying to get this information out to the residents. So I'm going to go through it. If you have any questions, I will answer those. Or if you see any, I can put it up on there. Go ahead. So if you look at the first one, the calls for service, 503 calls for service. There were 551 incoming calls to dispatch and 107 911 calls. We've never said or conveyed that information. I think that's very important to see how busy our PSAP is, or how busy our dispatch is on a monthly basis. I mean, those are calls coming in, calls for service, and the 911 calls. And that's average. So we're averaging 100 911 calls per month. Traffic and enforcement, 116 traffic stops, 13 citations, 25 notice to appears, 75 verbal warnings.
I mean, to me, that stat speaks a lot of the community policing that we do, right? So 116 traffic stops, only 11% resulted in a citation. All the rest were either a warning or bring your registration so we can fix it and you don't need a ticket.
Yes. Arrests, investigations, we had 1 warrant arrest, 2 misdemeanor arrests were made, and those were off of traffic stops. Incident reports and public safety, 17 officer reports, there were 11 FOIAs, 3 general accidents or 3 accidents, and 0 car deer. We always put the car deer on there because it's an important number. People really pay attention to that. So we were at 0 last month. The Detective Bureau, this has changed a little bit. You'll see that 32 cases were assigned. Everything's going through the DB now. Every case goes through the DB for review. Instead of anything being closed out, we're looking at it and saying whether it should be closed out, or if there's, just getting another set of eyes on it and seeing maybe if there's something that not necessarily was missed, but maybe we could take a different angle at it. 25 of those cases were closed and 7 are active. You'll notice that, and people say, well, there were only 17 road officer reports. Some cases that go through the DB don't necessarily go to the road. It could be an offender check or something else. So the road doesn't see every case that goes through the DB. Community and support services, ACO, they had 45 calls for service. And then security notices, we had 48 of those. I think these numbers reflect or give a better picture, paint a better picture of what we do. And I think the public would understand that, or the residents would understand those numbers more than just reading it off of, reading it off of a sheet. I think these are a way better way of, putting that information out. And if you still want the breakdown within the packet, within the commission packet, it shows our calls for service. It'll talk about juvenile reports, every caveat. If you could look at that call for service sheet on there, it breaks.
What were juvenile reports this month?
What's that?
What were the juvenile
We only had one.
one?
And that's one thing that, I would rather, and unless you want it to be different, when it comes to juvenile reports, we had a juvenile report. I don't want to go into the specifics of what it was.
Oh, I agree. I'm just
I would rather
curious.
just keep it at a number.
Seems like for the last at least 6 months, the number of interactions on juvenile reports is down for some reason.
Good.
No, I'm just trying to figure out why.
Because you're no longer a juvenile.
I had a reputation.
I could count myself in that one too.
I'm just worried that they're now smarter than we were. Okay. Sorry to interrupt you, Todd.
No, that's okay. The reserve report, 33 hours worked last month. January events, we had on the 15th, the officers attended critical incident response training. The police and fire department on the 24th, officers worked vacation checks. And then February events, nothing's, it's to be determined, nothing's been scheduled yet. So, any comments on the monthly report? Do you like that better than?
I think this is really spot on. I think it's going to, in my opinion, it should alleviate some of the questions that I've heard about calls for service. I don't think you can get more clear. To me, if there are still questions, I think whomever's still questioning that should probably give a call and,
I know myself, the chief, we would be more than happy
Right.
to go
And
over that with them and break it down for them.
I've explained that, but I think personally, and I'd love a copy of this sheet. So if in case there's any questions, I think this is, you've hit the nail.
And we will archive this, we will have this
Yep.
monthly, so we'll have it to fall back on for quick reference.
So kind of tagging along with Margaret there. So you got the blotter. We've seen the blotter a couple times. Is this going to replace the blotter?
This is what the blotter is
Okay.
going to look like
Good.
now.
Thanks.
Anyone else have any questions? Scott?
I was just looking at the overtime for the payroll breakdown already. And we're already,
I think they explained they got some medicals off.
right, but we're already, so overtime and is gonna be an issue already going in.
Yeah, I think that's that lack of that officer.
Right.
And I think, you know, we have to really start highlighting all of this when we're all meeting is, we have to let everybody understand where we're at and why we're struggling with that overtime. Because it's definitely got to do with that, the head count.
That's correct. Have anything else, sir?
No, that's it. Any questions for me?
No, sir. Thank you.
Can I have a motion to accept the department reports, monthly reports?
Motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, there appears to be no public comment tonight. Todd, you got anything? No, sir. Chief?
I do have a question. Last month, I talked about that I'm leaving in December. I would like to have a process started and have the commission start kind of outlining what they want to do for a hiring process to replace my position. And keep in mind that when I leave in January of '26, people think I'm leaving this month. I'm not. January 26, 2026, that you're going to have to hire another person to backfill that position. So it's, you know, we could start that process now. Or, you know, when you guys are ready, you can start that process. Just kind of think about that instead of letting this kind of, I would hope this wouldn't wait until, let's start this in September. Let's not.
I totally agree. I think we're going to have to come up with a list of steps that we want to go through, and I don't think we're going to wait until the last minute by any means. I mean, I certainly am.
Why don't we just schedule a study session immediately before next month's meeting to discuss it? Or do you want to meet sooner?
That's up to you
I
guys.
don't know if we necessarily need a study session. I think we just need to get something on the agenda so that we can put it forward to the board, publish for interviewing at a certain date and time ahead of time. I'd like
We can
to,
have some thoughts.
We have to figure out what pools you want to draw from,
Right.
We can have a
timeline,
little discussion.
structure.
Actually, we might want to have a discussion because I think there are some questions on the policies, so.
Does anybody here think they can make a study session between now and the next commission meeting?
Do you want to do it that soon, or are you
I
guys
think
good
we
with
need
that?
to do it that soon.
Okay.
The reason for that, I'm putting that out there, is depending how this moves within the department and where we draw from. We have a lot of good candidates within our department. Where we draw from,
I agree.
my
with you.
position is I want to give that person the opportunity, what I wasn't given, on how to basically learn this job and give them a lot of time to where they're comfortable and can have a good handshake on the way out. But if that person is from the internal, that's going to cause another movement. And then we got to give those people time. There's an organized structure of handing off versus, hey, you start Monday. Here you go, man. We can't do that again. So
I
that's
think
it.
we've said, yes, we're going to do that.
Okay.
so realistic,
Would you put that right now tentatively, a study session before the next meeting, rather than try and schedule something in between?
I was gonna say, because realistically, we're only dealing with, between now and the next meeting, there's only 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Between now and then, so if we just did it on the 18th beforehand, that seems to work out.
Is that all right with you, Margaret?
18th, that's our next commission meeting.
Just have it the same.
Yeah, beforehand.
Anything else, chief?
No, sir.
Most important, Wendy, what have you got? Spy reports you can give us about these two?
Confidential position, remember, she
Yeah,
can't give you
there go.
anything.
Bingo.
Well, we have to test her every month. All right. There being no public comment, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Oh, no.
Liaison report.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, no, I didn't have my schedule here.
I've got,
Took it down.
I've
All
got a
right.
report.
We have a liaison report.
Do. So, just really quick, I want to use my time to highlight just one of the members of our department. So, I would like to highlight Deputy Chief Todd Brozick, who is the lead for the mutual aid dive team. And in case anybody didn't happen to see the news, there was a really horrible water main break in southwest Detroit, and that happened, I think, probably Sunday night, Monday. I know you guys were working on Monday. And included with this is Fire Marshal Bob Roscoe and Fireman Andrew Huber, who's also part of that team, from Grozeal. So these guys went out into freezing temperatures into the water to rescue people from their homes. And I mean rescue. If you've never been in a flood situation, and I have. So it's on top of being pretty gross because it's not nice, pretty water. It's sewer water, basically. And these guys went out there in freezing temperatures and they rescued people from their homes. They rescued pets, everything. And you guys worked pretty hard, I think, on Sunday. And I think it's very important for Grozeal to know and to appreciate all the work that you do, because this is volunteer work. This was, this was a lot of heavy duty lifting in freezing temperatures, and I really appreciate the dedication that that you and the team, provide. So thank you.
Good job, Todd.
Thank you.
That was it.
That's it?
That was it.
You know anything nice about Scott or?
Oh yeah, Scott. Yeah, that's right. That's pretty cool. Thanks, Scott. We appreciate it. And you know what? Now that since I was kind of joking about that one, I do want to say thank you very much, Paul, for your years of service as well. And not that you're going anywhere, but we appreciate your support as well.
Thank you very much.
For sure. A thankless job.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
Okay, then I guess back to, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Aye. Motion.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
The meeting is adjourned at 7:26 by the clock on the wall. It's never right.